Hey guys, my name is Bando, this is Breakfast with Bando, and we're back on Heresy Thursday with a Loyalist Herald. So, we're getting yet another resin character for Heresy Thursday. And I know that sounds disingenuous and ungrateful, but, I'm starting to want to see some more plastic kits. And a lot of these consoles we've had recently have been easily makeable with parts from plastic kits. So, what we have here is a resin herald. A herald is a veteran who carries, like, the company banner. He is supposed to announce the presence of the Legion. He's there to basically tempt the enemy and go, woe is upon you. Here are your enemies. Look upon my, might, ye mighty and tremble. All that jazz. It's a very cool console to use. It's very interesting. And the model is quite a mixed bag. Now, I'm going to start with the biggest bit I don't like about this model, and that is the banner itself. The banner is supposed to be the company standard. Now, if you've been in 40k for a while, you've had Space Marine codexes, you must remember big colour plates in the rulebooks of things like the company standards. And they're big banners. They are, you've got the really famous ones of the Deathwing with the angel and the shattering mountain, or the Blood Angels, where they've got the great big claw wings, almost like an Emperor's Children one, or the Ultramarines, where you've got the Ultramarines standing over the Gene Stealer for I think it's the third company. What he has here is a glorified Vexilia, and frankly, if you look at this to me is the standard that a command squad should have. Command squads, they get a banner bearer in them, and I think that much better suits the company or the command staff standard. This is the standard to show where the commander is stood on the battlefield, versus the set that comes with the plastic kit, which is a much bigger banner designed to fit like the large decals from the Forge or decal sheets. And that, to me, personally, fits the idea of a company standard much better. So it's a bit strange. It's like they've got them the wrong way around. I don't think it'd be difficult to swap them over, sort of thing. And it's interesting. It's a nice design as like a more combat-orientated banner. It's smaller. It's rather heavy duty. And it has that Roman Vexilia look. 2, I really like he has a power fist. I like power fists, and I like the design of this power fist. His bionic leg is kind of cool. It's nice to be getting to see a bionic now and then. You don't get many of them. It's definitely a kit I think we need, and especially with the Mark III and the Mark VI kits being so similar in how they go together, it'd be very easy to make a Bionics kit that replaces legs and arms and torsos, and heads, that works between multiple kits. A Bionics Veterans upgrade, Iron Hands upgrade set like that would be very popular, I feel. I like the lightning trim on his upper legs. I think that looks good. What I don't like about it, realistically, is I think the head's kind of bad. I think the hair is kind of bad on it. I think that, the banner is not great. But I like that they've shown off different Legion colour schemes. That's definitely something I think we should be getting more of. And I think we should be seeing... I think we should see this in every Heresy Thursday article, realistically. And what I'm a little disappointed about is that no one converted it. Like, it would have been nice to see someone try and convert this. I'm sure they're probably not allowed to. The sash across the middle's a bit weird. I'm sure it'll grow on me, but I'm not a huge fan of that. And the new Mark III heads, they're not the best. They're not as good as the old ones, in my opinion, personally. The Dark Angels one there is really well painted. The middle Ultramarines one is quite well painted. The one on the left, metallic Ultramarines are interesting, but the banner is definitely the weakest. So you can see that they've not cut out some rather nasty flashing there, which looks not so great. It looks like the top knot might be separate, which is good. And it looks like we're getting the traitor one next week. Will I get this? Probably at some point as a basis for another conversion. I could see myself using the body for something. I could see myself using this arm for something. Probably a company command squad somewhere. I can't really see myself using this head at all. Maybe if I do something about the hair, I don't know. I just think that this attempt at like afro braids is not working very well. I don't think it's sculpted very well. The face itself is no better or worse than any particular GW sculpt. I think the hair looks very CAD, looks like plopped on the top. It doesn't look very well sculpted in my opinion. The backpack slightly different to normal Mark III from what I can tell. I like that. I'm not sure what this symbol is. This like half moon with the lightning bolts. And he is wearing and he's got a double-headed Aquila. I would have preferred to have seen that replaced with like the Imperial Raptor or something. I want to see more power fists. I like power fists. I want power fists with their fingers in interesting poses. And I'd like to see this from behind as well. I think that's going to be a really important thing on whether or not I like this model as a whole. What would I do to this to make it better? I'd use the banner from the Plastic Command Squad. And I would probably swap the head out for something that is more Legion specific. And I'd probably, pop on some Legion specific shoulder pads. And I would put him on something, on a rock. I like tactical rocks. I think tactical rocks for characters like this is important. The idea is, they're supposed to be making themselves big and visible. And maybe something like an older Mark III helmet or a Mark II helmet with the horsehair horizontal crest would look really good on this, on an Ultramarine. Maybe a head with longer hair would look really good for a Blood Angel. I think this would look really good for a Blood Angel anyway. The loincloth looks a little thick. It may just be that where it's folded. But again, it also, that does just look like a huge chunk of resin. But because I can't see it from any other directions, I can't tell if that's just thick because of the way it's supposed to be folded around on itself, or if it is just a giant chunk of resin there. I like giving power fists to my heralds. I think it's a good set for them. But realistically, the most important thing here is we need a Terminator herald. In fact, we are missing Terminator consoles all over the base. And I think that's something that we're probably not going to see. Because I think they're going to re-release the Terminators in an upscaled version, maybe during 3rd edition, and it would make very little sense for them to release Terminator consoles if they're going to change the scale. I think they're going to do this because of the fact that so many of the Terminator Praetors have been bigger, like much bigger than their plastic Terminator compatriots. Whew, and breathe. It's a solid release. It's it is what it is, but I really think we need to start seeing things like destroyers, recon, breachers. I think we're going to need to see plastic outriders, javelins, Proteus speeders, sabers, Aquitors, more Sikaran variants. There are a lot of things we need in plastic, far more than we need resin stuff, but I understand that GW's resin production capacity is much easier to slot things into than their plastic production capacity is. And GW is struggling with production capacity. They've overextended themselves on Age of Sigmar several times, and now they are working through backlogs of things like 40k. There is the rumour that they're gearing up to do another box release of Space Hulk. There are also inklings that they may be releasing a yet completely unannounced box game as well, which, if those rumours that I'm hearing from former colleagues are true, will be really interesting and fun. If you like Blackstone Fortress, watch out. But, yeah, I think this is fine. I can't say there's anything about it I despise. I think it would work really well for an apothecary as well, using just the base model like the torso. I think it's an Iron Hands model. It would work really well for a librarian, an apothecary, Primus Medicae, Delegatus. Any of those I think would work really, really well. And yeah, I can't see any Legion where I don't think it's going to sit particularly well. The only ones I think that are going to struggle is probably the Space Wolves. I think you'd need to do a bit of work with the Space Wolves. Add some like pelts, some wolf tails, bare head with a massive beard and long hair, and then probably a completely different banner topper. So I'm looking forward to seeing what we get next week with the traitor version, if that is what they show. I'll be interested to see it. I wonder if it's going to be painted in the Iron Warriors scheme, or if it's going to go straight back to Sons of Horus. Probably Sons of Horus, but they do seem to be moving some stuff to the Iron Warriors, because that's who is rumoured to be in the next box set, is Iron Warriors versus Salamanders. So, let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below, give me your feedback, give me your opinions. I always try to answer them. I've been absolutely blown off my feet with the amount of comments in the last video. That's done really, really well, and I've kind of gone back and tried to react to at least every single one. I think it's at like 300 now, comments at least, which is wild. And I've obviously approved all the offensive ones that YouTube has said, no, you can't have this because you said the R word. I like the held comments. They're always spicy and funny. Are you going to get this model? Are you going to give it a skip? Do you think it's better to just pick up the command box set for not much more than this single model? Yeah, let me know. And as always, guys, I really appreciate everyone who watches these videos, especially those who make it all the way to the end. Yeah, if you want to support the channel, like, comment, subscribe, and give it a share out there. Throw it up on Discord or Reddit or wherever. It's always great to see new people. If you want to come join the Discord, just drop me a message and I'll be happy to, get you an invite. Right. Thank you very much. Have a great day.